primarily to based on Power Apps. Yeah. So thanks a lot for joining the session. Let's begin. So we are talking about Microsoft Teams app platform and how we can leverage the same by means of utilizing the Power Apps as a add-on within the Microsoft Teams environment. Before we go ahead, let's understand the agenda quickly. I'll draw your attention to the disclaimer at the bottom of screen also. I was required for this. So agenda is that we will be doing a quick recap of the Microsoft Teams platform to understand the context and where does the Power App fits into this. And then we'll take a deep dive into Power App space. We'll understand what it is and how we can begin, ready to use, utilizing ready to use the Power Apps. And then we will also get into hands-on creation of Power Apps for some of the popular use cases which are available. We will also look at how we can integrate a Power App application within Microsoft Teams. And we'll keep some time towards the end for any Q&A which may be there. In the meanwhile, as and when you have a question in mind, please do note it into the meeting chat so that you don't forget it and we can address it in due course. So with that, we go ahead, and just to understand the platform and where does Power App fit into this, let's have a quick understanding. So one hub connects everything. So when we talk about Microsoft Teams platform, though it's been a while, we've started utilizing much more than the basic call, chat, and team meeting features. But this is the very basic, which is available out there and which draws a lot of people towards it, especially in the current scenario where many of us are working in a distributed mode. So it helps us keep connected, collaborate with each other, and share stuff. So beyond this, we have the immensely familiar O365 product suite, including Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, OneNote, SharePoint, and stuff like that, which helps us increase our productivity, collaborate, create documentation, maintain records, and stuff like that. At a slightly higher level of maturity, we also become aware of various third-party apps belonging to various domains, which are from the top of the rung app providers, and which very seamlessly integrate and become available from within Microsoft Teams environment. It helps us, access these apps from Microsoft Teams environment. We can refer the content from these in our chats and meetings, etc., making it very, very comfortable. And towards the end, the focus of our today's session, which is about various apps, various means of apps like app templates, SharePoint sites, Power App, which can be integrated into Teams and make this possibility of this platform virtually limitless, because this gives us the power of going beyond the packaged products and build our own functionalities as per our business needs, and then integrate the same into Teams platform while leveraging the user access control, the organization or team level policies and stuff like that. So we just focus on the app, and then rest is taken care by the platform. And not to mention this works seamlessly with the rest of the stuff. We can reference it during our meetings and stuff like that. And we will see how Power App makes it very easy for us to come up with business process automation very quickly. This is another view of the same piece of information in a horizontal manner. Towards the bottom, we have Office 365 apps, then the external or the third-party apps, and on top are the organization-based application, which are the custom app, and that's where we are talking more today. So focusing on Power App, what is making the Power App so popular? Primarily, primarily it is because it enables rapid development of applications to suit our business needs. It is available as a functional product out of the box. The base versions, so which virtually requires no code or very low level of coding requirement, if at all. And then we've got this functionality of connectivity with very large number of data sources, beginning with simple one like Excel and going on to popular RDBMSs and SharePoint, etc. So this is the base reason why Power Apps are becoming so popular for simple business requirements, where probably a huge ERP and all may be a overkill. And this in a way provides us as business folks or as technology folks to take a POC or a stepped approach, where we can begin with a base version of our automation and then go ahead and keep building the functionality into the app as we evolve. So key highlights are, it's a very easy app maker. So as you know, any power user who is kind of drawn towards using macros, etc. in Excel would find it very much familiar, and this is like a logical extension to that experience to build upon. Access to mobile features is come readily packaged into this. So we've got a lot of plugins available which can be readily used out of the box for customization, etc. Similarly, we can make use of GPS and the barcode scanner like plugins available within Power Apps. Speed and efficiency, it is the overall software development lifecycle becomes very quick and easy, because the functionality or the process is built like that you create a app, you publish or share it on the platform needed, and any changes which happens over a period of time gets reflected very quickly without you having to get into any kind of lengthy deployments, etc. So click wizard driven, and you get the job done. Ready for your smartphone? Yes, for any app today it is becoming like a default requirement that we need to have it available on our smartphones or tablet devices. So Power Apps come prepared with that kind of a compatibility. Any app which is integrated into Teams automatically becomes available across different OSs, including Android, iOS, and Windows. And it is integrated with O365 tools also, MS Office and all, become available wherever such a functionality is required within a Power App. So how like there are various ways we can go about building a Power App, but because before we get into that, we will, I would like you to see, or experience, have an experience of how a Power App looks like. So for that, we will go to MS Office Online Edition, and right now I am in my demo tenant, and I'm launching my Power App instance here on the cloud. So this is the Power App home screen. We will get into the details, familiarizing with the features available in a short while. But before that, let's get into seeing what is that which is available to us out of the box, ready to use. So it also has a concept of templates. These templates are like ready to use to deploy apps. Just if we follow few simple steps like a wizard, and then it leads us to a creation of this app and then deployment in our tenants. And if you see, there are apps for very commonly required use cases. For example, onboarding tasks, meeting capture to capture the meeting notes, Power App for training for office, budget tracker, help desk, which is a very common kind of a requirement, sign site inspection, service desk. And like when we are seeing these templates are available to us, they are like, before we get into the details of it, simply clicking on that helps us get a better understanding. In many cases, we are, without deploying the app, a template app, we can actually go to a preview. As you can see here, there is a preview option. If I click on this, it actually leads me to an environment where I can actually do a sort of a walkthrough of the app and understand how it functions before I actually get on to the deployment of the same. So this is, in that sense, it saves a lot of effort. I would know exactly what am I getting into, what is this template going to offer. Now talking about specifically the service desk app, this app, as the name says, is to automate the service desk functionality process, whereby we expect the user of this app to be manning the service desk upon receiving a call or details of a service requirement through a call or an email or through any other means. This person will be able to create a new ticket like this, can go on to select a priority based upon set business rule, which area the ticket belongs to, and like add more details. And I can go ahead and create this thing. I can put in my name here, go ahead and create the ticket. And this is how a new ticket gets added into the queue. And as a service desk person, at any point in time, I get to see total tickets which are there, how many are new, how many are in progress, how many are closed and on hold, things like that. And I can see tickets based on specific status based filters, like how many are in progress, on hold, how many are closed, new tickets. And I can also go ahead and update as the status of a ticket changes. This is how I can go ahead and update the same. So as you know, I receive a update, I can come here and update the same details here like this. So this is one like way of how preview of a app is available, enables me to get a first hand experience of app before I actually get to deploy the same. So if you are like working on a use case and you are going through this template, you can go through these and figure out if a specific template meets your requirement or is close to your requirement, whereby you can make the necessary changes before you can go ahead and deploy. This is another example we are looking at, which is a very commonly used use case of leave request. Let's see how this looks like again in the preview mode. Yeah. So this one has two roles available. When one is logging as an employee and another as a manager. We can get to see how the experience of a employee would be. Like on the opening screen, employee can come and create a new request, new leave request, select what kind of leave request is, whether it's a vacation, sick leave, floating holiday, like these. And then let's remember that these are all customizable because this is all data driven. We can always go and tweak, like we can always go and add a new leave type or can remove a leave type. Stuff like that can be done. Date, that is the duration, to whom it is being addressed, submitted, then details of the request like this. Then in addition, the organization can also keep the company holiday available in this, and my leave balance, those kind of details are also available. So basically it cuts down on a lot of effort or interaction between the HR team and the employee, whereby the leave balance, the company holidays, and the leave request and the tracking of the same is available within the app. Similarly, there is experience for manager also to go ahead and approve the leave and stuff like that. You have more templates available. I think these are some 20-30 or templates which are available. Booking a room, if the organization has a lot of meeting rooms, etc., which needs to be booked. And then something for my expenses. So tracking expenses report from submission to approval. This is a very commonly required use case in organizations where expenses are submitted and for reimbursement. So they go through a process of approval. Let's understand all of these app templates are built in a manner that they address most of the base use cases and then provide you with a feature to add more. So my expenses are this what we are seeing right now. The previous one all were in a canvas, that is a tab layout. This one is in a phone layout. So depending upon the need, we can define a preferred layout, although the one which is created in a tab layout would also open up in the phone. It's just that when we upfront define while creating an app, it is more optimized for the mentioned platform. So creating a new expense report uh, for the period, start and end, like what are the details available along with cost center, etc. One can all fill up and submit it for approval. And on the other side, manager would take his or her own process to update the same. And then employee can see past approved claims also, similarly the one which are in process, and overall list also is available. So this basically provides us with the kind of professionally looking layout and the experience these ready to use app provide to us. As you can see here, like like we are seeing the preview, but at the same time we have the option of going ahead and creating these apps, which itself in the beginning ask whether we want it for a tablet or a phone. Looking at the interview tool, this again is a very commonly asked use cases where HR wants to track the interviews that are going on, and at any point in time would like to see how the candidates are performing and the one which have moved to the next stage or the decision making stage, stuff like that. One can always go ahead and add a new department name and begin there for any new requirement. Similarly, we have inventory management, which is also a very required use case to track the inventory available within the organization. It comes in handy as and I mentioned that this is going to be available within MS Team environment as we are seeing. We will actually integrate our app in Teams as we go forward. But on the home screen, what we are seeing here is there is a listing of all the store inventory which has been fed into the app available for whosoever is responsible for this, and available in different kind of views, sorting, etc. So this is basically to get to know the current status. View of inventory of your store, browse an inventory list to see how many of the items you need to refill for each product. So one can keep tab on what all is the current status of the inventory at any point in time. So these are all very commonly used use cases. A simple one generally used as a productivity tool. If one wants to use is a to-do list to stay organized and on top of things. If the organization has some sort of arrangement where the employees are encouraged to post some suggestions, etc., with regard to any improvement, etc., this suggestion box can be used. So as you've seen, these are the all ready to use apps which are available to us. It's a very large number available. So we'll go ahead and then now take a look at how to create one. Before we do that, let's take a minute to familiarize ourselves with the Power App interface. As you've seen, the navigation is from the Office 365 interface. From the available list of apps, you click on Power Apps, and if you don't see it upfront, you can always come here and look for it, and then clicking on this will bring us to on this screen. On this screen, as you can see, this is the home page, and it provides us with ways to create the app. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Now you have a very useful resource available within the app is to go ahead and understand if there are any areas we want to pick up on. Then it has a learn menu option available within the Power App where we can see how to go ahead and create, which includes guided learning, help related to specific topics, and community where to go ahead and look for answer to any question or any situation you may be facing. It also provides updates on what's new happening in the Power App space as part of the community blog posts. Let's take a look at the, what does this guided learning offer. So this has a very exhaustive documentation for all kind of users, one who want to begin with it, and then specific target based documentation, and along with other learning paths one wants to follow within the Power App domain. So it has specific modules for introduction to Power Platform, Power Apps, how to build a Canvas app, model driven apps. We'll be looking at some of this as we go forward. So for more in-depth or complex requirement, creating relationships, business rules, calculation, roll-ups, and dataverse. So these are the one which, if we want to publish content rich reports, cross tabs and stuff like that, these will come in very handy. So it basically makes us very independent with regard to learning resource availability. Next option on the left navigation is apps, which basically lists all the apps which are, as a user I have built. So as you go ahead and build more and more apps, they all start appearing in this area. Create is basically when one wants to go ahead and start creating an app, and then more about the data which we will be using as part of this. So to begin with, the one we have seen are more relevant to us. We go back to the home option, and let's look at how we can go ahead and, so we are going to create option, and then let's see how we can go ahead and create the most simplest of the use case, that is creating a app, a Power App based on a available template. So what for now, for this case, I'm picking up this help desk one, which is a very simple use case. We talked about service desk, which is where the service desk person is expected to create a ticket. Let's see how this one is expected to behave, and then we go ahead and create it. So we are first looking at the preview of this app. So as you can see, this has two options. One is login as a help desk user and other as a help desk admin. So basically this is a two user app. One is the help desk user, that can be like any of the employee in the organization who wishes to use raise a help desk ticket. So in the beginning we are seeing a blank screen. Clicking on this plus sign takes us to a create ticket screen where I am required to put in a title. I am typing a title, say printer not working, which is under the category laptop PCs. Okay. Right now we don't have it because this is a preview. So we just select this part and then I say priority is high. Please fix my printer issue quickly, and I click on create to create the ticket. It confirms that the ticket got created and then brings me to this screen where I'm seeing my open ticket. So this screen is expected to list all of my tickets which I have as a user I have created. Now let's see how this is expected to behave from a help desk admin, because from my access I can only come here and take a look at what is happening to this one. Clicking on edit just gives me a read only view of my ticket. Coming out and going into the help desk admin. Okay, because it is showing I don't have it. So we will see once we implement it that how the help desk admin is expected to function using this app. We go back to our screen, close the preview, and as you can see here I have an option of providing a help desk this app name. So just to differentiate it as we go ahead, I am just adding today's date, 29th April demo, and I click on create. So since this is a template based app, this is all that I am required to do. Now this process of app creation takes a while depending upon the load in the tenant. Sometimes it takes couple of minutes. So right now it is doing everything it needs to do to create the app and then take me to the same. And as part of this creation, if in between it requires any kind of permission, etc., it prompts for the same. I am right now allowing it because in this specific app, it makes use of the O365 user list in the org.
999.
Yeah, so the app got created, and that's when we see this dialog box. So since we have seen the preview, I am just skipping. And then it says go ahead and open it. And this is right now it is showing the app to me in the app edit view of Power Apps. So just so that we understand where we are right now, this was the initial screen where we have seen all the readily available templates for app creation and various other menu options. And upon creation, it opens up another tab for us where it shows the created app in the edit mode. So what you are seeing right now is the design view of the app. This is the app which looks similar to the template we have selected. And now we have our own instance of this app available. So if I click on this preview the app button here on top right, it takes me to the app as a which I will experience as a user right now. Again it is showing me the same screens which I have seen earlier. I click on this, I log out and I come back to the same options. Again the same thing because the admin access has to be restricted, so there is a check there. This would require a bit of configuration, which I will show you. So this was the first instance of how we can create a Power App. We will be looking at some more ways for doing the same. But before we go further, let's understand what all we have found once this app is ready. As you can see on the left hand side, we are seeing the app elements. On top we see the representation of the app. Then we have, you can read these are various screens which are available. This is login screen, this is confirm submit screen, this is confirm delete screen, this is my ticket screen which we saw when we created the ticket, this is view ticket screen, and similarly couple other screens which together enable the kind of experience we just saw. So overall, on its own, once we clicked on the create button from the template, it has created all these some 8-9 forms, and then each of the form has its own element which we can go ahead and identify. And as you can see, all of this is available to us as part of the as in a design mode. So that means we are now in a position to make changes. So we will see how we can do that in a while. But this is all like doable. I can always click on a ticket label here and make changes to the text. Like that is the simplest kind of customization I can talk about to give you a example of what all we can do here. Yeah. So this is now created. It's available to us. As you can see, help desk 29 April demo is ready for us now. I'll just make a note so that when we come back, we are able to locate it. So this is one instance. We leave it here for the time being and go back to this creates option. And let's see what are the other ways with which we can create. So let's say that we had a requirement where we wanted to do something, with the help desk kind of app which we have just now created. Now I have another requirement where, which I probably want to use within a small group within my team. And as of now, I have a Excel sheet in which I maintain some details. And now after getting introduced to this Power App idea, I'm wondering whether I can build an app based on my Excel sheet. Then the answer is yes, this is very much possible. As you can see here, we have this under create, we have this label says start from data. So basically, apart from the apps which are based on templates, these are the other possible ways with which we can go ahead and create apps which are based on data. That means uh, they read the data source and then help us create a basic version of the app. Let's see how this will work out for us. So first thing that we are going to look at is to have a app based on Excel. So let me first take you to my Excel online instance, and I'll be making use of existing table. So I have these available tables with me. So I have created one demo order table. I have labeled it as 29th April to be able to identify. And this is like a very simple table here. So I'm going to make use of this table, or I can, like, if you have any other table, say for example, I have another table here I can make use of. So any Excel table which you have created on using Excel can be made use of. So we go back, once we have identified a app, I go back to my Power App Studio and then click on this option of that start from data, which is in Excel Online. So I click on Excel Online. It again brings me to the Power App Studio and asks me to select from the online Excels which I have created. So what I'm going to do here is I am selecting, say, demo order table 29th April. Within that, the one like table which I have, so just to give you an idea, this is demo order table here. And in this, what I have done is I have selected these rows and columns and I have clicked on table to give it a table format. Once that is done, I come here and refer this in the Power App Studio. This is how it will appear to me. So I select it. If there are multiple tables in the same, it will show me multiple tables and I will choose the one I want and I simply click on connect and it gets into its app creation mode, just like it did earlier when we created based on the template. So what is essentially doing is it is taking our table in as a input and then on top of it, it is trying to build a app. So this is done now. So just like the earlier one, it has created this app. And if I click on preview button, I get to see these options, these screens. So first one is where I am seeing a list of items which are there in my table. It's a list view. Clicking on this arrow mark would take me to a view screen where I'm seeing all the attributes of that selected item. And then I have two options available on this form. One is to delete and other is to edit this item. If I click on edit, the forms become editable. I can make a change to this. Say this is item 1, which the current item count 100. I am making change here. I'm making it 1050 and I click save. So item 1, I have changed the item count from 10 to 1050. I click on save. It takes a while. It takes time because probably my Excel sheet was open. Normally that should be closed. Okay, yeah, here it is updated. So so these are the screens which it has created. This is the interface which it has created, as you've seen. We saw a browsing screen, then a detail screen and a edit screen. We just now made a update to the Excel file. Let's come here and see. Yeah, as you can see, I updated the item 1 count from 10 to 1050 and it gets reflected here. So this is how my app is working on top of this Excel sheet. And I have a app which, instead of sharing the Excel sheet with my colleagues, I can share this app which allows me to work in a much better and a graceful manner with a lot of controls can be built into the app. And now as you can see, I can customize it and make changes. So for example, if I click on this browse screen, I have all these properties here and I can go ahead and make a lot of changes to these. This is the gallery which is showing me all the content, And if I click on the title, as you can see, there is a text header table 1. I can always change it to list of orders. Now this is so simple, just making changes in a dialog box and my app behavior, look and feel changes. So this is the case where we have created an app based on Excel, and now I am naming it as app demo app XLS based. I come here to file. Yeah, so I believe you've got an idea of how quickly it can help me create an app based on Excel file. We go ahead and look at the another option which is available to us, which is creating an app based on SharePoint. So for that, I come back to the create option. I click on SharePoint. So just like the last time, it asked us to provide a Excel file. Now it is asking us to provide a SharePoint list. So to identify what is the SharePoint list I want to use as a basis, I am going to my SharePoint instance and locating one list which I have kept ready here. So this is a ready list, asset manager list. As you can see, this is basically a list, a record of various assets which are out there, and it has got a lot of fields in the list. So what I'm going to do now is I'm trying to make a list, make an app based on this list. So I'm just keep taking copying this address for this list. So just so that it becomes handy for me. Now coming back to my Power App Studio, if you can recall, we clicked on create a app based on SharePoint list, and now it is asking us to connect to a SharePoint site. I am pasting the address, SharePoint list address, and it shows me the asset manager list in this list. So I click on this and I say connect.
Roll over with 1,000.
And just like earlier two instances, it goes ahead and begin creating a app based on the provided list. So let's see how this thing turn up. Yeah, that was quick. We skipped the preview and we are going straight away to our app now. And if I click on the preview part, you can see again it has created a list view of all the items which were there. Along with a feature to search the item, I can always come here and search, say B44. On the title, it shows me the searched item. If there are more, it will show multiple items. And then once I click on the required item, it gives me a complete read view of the selected item, whether what is the title, that is the item name, status is available, who is the manufacturer, model, asset type, laptop, color. Just to give you idea of how this is related to this list, please take a look at like asset tag, status, manufacturer, model, asset type. These are all the fields which were there in my SharePoint list, which it has picked up and created a app on top of the same. So this is what it is showing me. Now again, it gives me an option of editing. So it gives me an edit view of the items here. And let me close this one because it should not be kept open when we are using the Power App. So coming back, as you can see, I have this record available to me. And suppose this is the title, my item name is A123. I come here and change it color from black to white. A123 color I have changed to white, and I have changed the asset type also to smartphone. So smartphone white A123, I am saving it here and it gets updated. Let's go back and take a look how this thing is reflecting. So A123, if as you can see now it is showing a smartphone which is a white color. So earlier it was a laptop. So this is how the app is updating the data in the backend, while giving me complete freedom of going ahead and making changes to this app. Just to give you an idea of how we can go ahead and make changes. So for example, as you can see, whenever we make we have seen three instances of creating app, one on based on template, other based on list, and other based on Excel. So if I want to, and in the last of the two cases, we get a browse screen, a detail screen, and a edit screen. Uh, so if suppose we want to make changes to this one and I want to add a new screen, just like the one we have seen in case of template based app, I can always come here and make addition, say a new screen I have added here, and I want this to be my landing page. I once this is added, I am moving it up and I bring it to the first level here, and I'm calling it as, instead of default screen one, I'm calling it home screen. Yeah, so here is my home screen now. Now on this home screen, if I want to add a button which I want to use for purpose of login, so here I have clicked on the button from the left side navigation, and I am going to label it as login. It changes to login here. And suppose I want to put in some branding and stuff like that, I can always come here and add a image placeholder like this. This is just for example. I'm going to now add an image file here, which I have kept. So you can, like, this is just an example, but you can always add anything more fancy looking and stuff like that here. And now comes the other part of changing the behavior of this app. So now if I want a simple case that once I click on this login, then only I get to the browse screen. So if I want to do that, the only thing I have to do now, a simple command which I have to type on the on select of this, which is navigate to. It shows me all the screens which are there. I just have to select which one I want to navigate. So in this case, I want to navigate to browse screen, and that's the only argument which I provide to this. So if I now try to preview this app, so yeah, so this becomes the first page, and I click on login, and then I get onto the detailed screen. So this is how I can go ahead and keep adding more screens, more controls, stuff like that. This is how I can do that. And in the similar manner, I'll quickly show you that how I can go ahead and create a app from a blank, like without any data, without anything. If I just want to say I want to create from scratch, I can come here and say app name. So I will say demo app, demo app. I'll just call it blank. And I have the option of saying whether I want it to be a table or phone. I'm choosing phone and I say create. So what it does is it quickly provides me, takes me to the Power App Design Studio and gives me the same option that we have just now seen to add screen, to add controls and stuff like that. It again asks me whether I want to add a form, I want to create a gallery and stuff like that. I skip it for the time being. And now when we do it like this, so obviously we have to add a data source to this, which we will go ahead and look for like this, clicking on this data and then looking for a connector, We talked about this initially, and then I'm looking for a connector which can help me connect with SharePoint. Once I do that, it allows me to choose which of my accesses I should be using. So I am choosing again the demo list, which I choose selected in our SharePoint list based example. And I'm choosing the same list again and saying connect. So what it has done is now it has identified a data source and kept it ready for me to make use of. So I have to go ahead and now look for the control which will be making use of this data. As you can see here, I am looking for a vertical gallery. Now, once the vertical gallery appears, by default, it will prompt me for which of the data source I want to work with, which I have selected just a while ago. I select the same, and here it populates the content for me. Now, this is one way of looking at it. If you see on the properties, I have a layout option, which provides me with a variety of options to display data here. If I click on title only, it will show title. If I choose a title and subtitle, it will allow me to show more details. Similarly, I can go ahead and select a detail of my liking, and this is how I can start creating an app from scratch. So this makes it like 4 types of app creation, Power App creation, one from template, SharePoint list, Excel, and then from blank we have seen. So that brings us to the end of the creation part. Now the only last important point, I'll take a couple of minutes. I hope that will be okay since we started a little bit late. To show you how we can add an app to Microsoft Teams that we are making use of, because after all we are talking about working with these apps from within Microsoft Teams. So let's come here. I have this app called Helpdesk 29 app demo, and I go to file and I click on save. It is asking me options where to save it. I say save it on the cloud. Here I have the save option. I click on this and the application is getting saved. So Helpdesk 29 April demo is saved now. I go back to file option. Yeah, so my work here is done and I come back to this screen which we were looking at initially, and I click on the apps part. And as you can see, the newly created app is now available here. I click on this ellipsis button here, and on top you can see the menu appearing, which is giving me an option of add to teams. So I click on add to teams, and then I'm provided with a dialog box here giving me some options. I can go ahead and before I create the package, and I can go ahead and edit the details, stuff like that, which I can do, make changes to the icons, etc. For the time being, we are simply going ahead and downloading the app just to showcase how this app can become available within Teams. Yeah, so app package has been created. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to go to my Teams instance, go to apps, and then upload a custom app. I'm uploading it for me or my teams. And when I do that, I go and locate the downloaded zip in my download folder, which is a zip file. I identify it and open it. It shows me the details of the app here, and I simply say add. And here I am looking at my recently added Power App into Microsoft Teams environment. It provides me with the same functionality. I go ahead and start creating my tickets. Stuff like this happens here. So this is how I make use of this app within Teams environment. And as I've shown, there is a lot of online documentation which is available once we are using, these template-based app, how to go ahead and work with them. The same also can be made use of. So with that, we have looked at various templates, how they function, over 30 which are there, and then created some of the apps ourselves, made changes to those, and then finally added the app in the Microsoft Teams environment. So that brings us to the end of the agenda. I'll be happy to answer any question that you may have now. Thank you. I will paste links to these resources in the chat window, which you can refer in your own time.
Okay, hello Raul. I can hear you, please. I have a question to ask.
Yeah, please. Yeah, let me know.
Thank you very much for the explanation. So you were saying something regarding the SharePoint data, that is, we can build an application from a data source, right? And from that data source, you were able to connect to a list. So there are three questions I want to ask. But the first one is, can we connect to a document library instead of a list, such that when we connect the document library and app regarding the document library where we store our folders and stuff like that, can we have an app like that using that data source?
Well, that we may look at that option when we create an app from scratch, like that may not be available when using it from the list option. So that is something we will have to make use of. The last option which I have shown, let me take you there. Yeah, so readily available options are here: SharePoint, Excel. So when we say SharePoint, by default, it looks for it expect us to provide a SharePoint list.
Yes. Okay, list.
Yeah, it expects the list here, but we can always make use of this Canvas app from blank and try working with the document repository. That is one. And if your requirement is a app where the users are expected to upload documents.
Yes.
Say, for example, a scenario of somebody uploading a document for approval or something like that. In that case, list has the option of attachment within itself. So if there is a scenario where you have some of the structured data like name, department, employee ID, stuff like that, and in addition you want to also upload a document or multiple documents, you can still make use of lists.
Okay. Can I ask my second question? I should give chance for that.
Sure.
Okay. So this same list that you uploaded using that SharePoint data source, when the app is created, supposing in the column of my SharePoint list, there's an option called image. Would that image option also be available in the app that was created? Because while I tried creating an app using SharePoint as a data source, I was unable to see, when I was trying to add fields, I was unable to see image. I was trying to add image so that users can use that app to upload the passports there, but the option is not showing among the fields. So that's why I'm asking if it is possible with this method to with the share with the data automatically pull the image from that SharePoint data source into the Power Apps.
Yes, yes, it does. The answer to your question is yes. If you see here, I have a sample app as part of the app template named Site Inspection here.
Okay.
So
Yes.
if we just go inside, you can see this app has these images appearing as part of it. So this is like a very much a required use case where you have some inventory where it is required to store image of the item. So that should work very well. Let's take a look at this.
Okay.
So it is asking for specific details and all. So it in this case it will access the camera and allow me to work with this. As you can see here, these images are also showing up. So if you probably explore this specific app, you will get to know how the images are tackled in this case.
Okay. 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 All right. Then my last question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. This service, these templates, preview templates, and while you were navigating your screen, I also did the same thing on my end here. I didn't see an option to connect to a data source among the navigation bar by the left side. An option. So does that mean we cannot add data source to those templates, like the service desk that I was trying the expense templates, which did not show me option to add data source, connect to a data source.
Let me go to this. So for example, like this is the one which we created. Are you talking about this screen on
No,
the
no,
left
this,
side?
no, not this one. The previous one, the one you did before this.
Okay, this one.
No. The service desk something.
Yeah, I understand what you are saying, because here also we don't see a data option.
Yes, this place exactly.
Yeah, right. I got it. Yes. So in some of these apps, there are some steps which needs to be followed. That's what I referred to when I talked about this specific page, set up and learn about helpdesk sample app in Power Apps. So there are some described steps to enable the same. Like see here, some of the apps are done in a manner where it is easy for us to demonstrate them on the fly. Here in this specific case, the data is retained in memory, because from a demo point of view, it takes a while before I set up the underlying tables and all. So we have both kind of examples available. The one where where we made use of Excel or list and all, because I
Yes.
had the underlying data created. That's why the data was showing.
Okay.
But where it is when I create it from a template, I may have to follow some steps, because in this case what happens is that the Power App, when it is distributed, it is the app piece which gets packaged and gets distributed, but the underlying data has to be created separately, which is not part of the app package. So there is a bit of effort there.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Okay, I have some questions here. I'll just go through these. It's about recording. I think you can answer that. Okay. Yes, so see, there are two modes regarding this question. If are the Power Apps created usable outside Microsoft 365? So although in today's session we were emphasizing on utilizing this within MS Teams, so that you don't have to take care of the user access aspects separately. But otherwise, if it is shared separately, it may be usable in a browser window also. But we generally focus on the Teams aspect, so like we don't have that use case right now available here. Yeah, so that was about, sorry, I'll copy paste along with the text here. In the chat, I have pasted the resources. I think these will be useful, and we can always follow up with any other query you may have. So if there are no more queries, can we end the session now?